Hey Warhawks, this is Colonel Wilson here with Chief Blazer with my wingman. Friday episode 13, Chief. Pretty significant.
It is, yeah.
We probably
Friday episode 13.
13.
Yeah.
Wow, how about that? Well, happy Halloween, Warhawks. As you can tell, that Chief and I have dressed up for the occasion. So we've got our Halloween bash coming up this afternoon. And then tomorrow night on the installation around JBSA in the San Antonio area, we'll be out with I'll be out with my little ones trick or treating.
Excited for our team to have some fun a little bit. We try to demonstrate that a little bit today. You know, we often kind of wear our uniforms, but we're also two individuals that like to have a good time, and we know that right now that the team is looking forward to that. So a big shout out to Master Sergeant Truth Clark. And the whole team rallied together, and all of our units, all the participants, all the leaders out there, getting tonight ready for tonight's Halloween bash, sir.
Yeah. So Chief's point is that we like to have fun. So this is live stream right now. This is Freeform Friday. The whole point of Freeform Friday is it's not rehearsed, it's not scripted. This is the real theme is being real, keeping it real, right? So Chief talked a little bit about us and our personal lives. Tonight, my focus is on my family. As we're out today, you'll see I am, and it's relevant. So I think when you see the family together, you'll see the real me with my family tonight and out having some fun, Chief. And I think you're the same way. You like to show who you really are.
So, and interesting enough, this week we were doing our senior NCO professional enhancement seminar for our brand new Master Sergeants, and the conversation came up. The topic came up about being real and being genuine and we owe our airmen. I think everybody wants to be able to be their natural selves, and I'm sure me having this conversation
being the natural self as you're wearing that.
But it is one of those things where sometimes we take on different responsibilities. We should never change who you are. We had a good time, but I think on that point too is that you should also be a good person, be a good teammate, be a friend to somebody. And I think the power of laughter, this is why we're doing a little bit too. I think it's we got a lot of things going on right now, but yes, sir, I do like to have a good time.
Yeah, being real. So we say being real. We're hopeful that airmen and that subordinates and that peers and superiors can connect with, right? Because that's what it's all about. That's why we are real, is because we want to connect with who we really are. And so I had a mentor. His name was Major General in the Air Force, through my career. And the thing that he said that always resonated with me was, be nice, don't be a jerk, right? And so I was always like, yeah, that sounds pretty easy. And I always have felt like treating people the way I want to be. And so that is being real for me. That's who I think I am. That's who I feel like I am. That's who I aspire to be, is someone that our airmen can connect with, because I try to be nice and I try and treat them the way I do.
It was really the first month that you got here, and do you remember we did the Vanessa Guillen Memorial Walk? Mm-hmm. And we spent an hour walking around the track together, and we just talked about life. We talked about our experiences and trying to be the best leaders we could be, the best. And I think a lot of times people, you and I, our pictures are on the walls in certain places, but we're still just people in those positions that are trying our best, and we'll venture on. We'll give that seat to someone else. Those positions don't define us. But how is all about. It's not about the medals we have or the awards we might have. It's about the relationships and the connectivity we have as just teammates that I think makes the biggest difference. Yeah, and it will last the longest.
Yeah, I think at the end of it, the shadow box, it'll go up on the wall somewhere if we're all lucky. It'll sit in the closet, and those are great. But the things that really matter are the memories. It'll be what we've done. It'll be that we carry that with us. It'll be the relationships we build. It'll be able to get on the phone with old airmen that we're with. That's what we'll take away, and so I always try and remember that every day when I'm out serving the wing and doing the best that I can as the commander.
Yes, sir.
And I know you do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Right. So on the other side of that, I would say not being real, airmen. If they think we're trying to be somebody we're not.
Yeah. If you're putting a mask on,
right?
Every day,
putting a mask on every day,
yeah.
And that you're not real. They'll see right through it, and then you'll lose them real quick. And so that's what. So we're looking forward to it. Had a busy week this week, Chief. Speaking of real, we had some real leadership come through. Lackland in the 37 Training Wing. Start off with Mr. Mark Engelbaum, who is for Manpower and Resources, SAF-MR, up at the Pentagon, and he came through to look at our BMT mission and learn more about the 37 Training Wing. and it was a great visit. We also had General Craig, the Air Force Personnel Center commander, and that was a wonderful visit. He spent a long time with our comprehensive mission brief, and each of our group commanders and group leadership teams were able to talk with General Craig about what they do and where his organization at Air Force Personnel Center had touch points all through the training pipeline and with our 2 international language schools. Great visit him through basic military training. I think he had a great time. His chief, Hoagland, had a great time. Chief, any thoughts on General Craig's visit or any visits this week?
I think, it is a lot of times, I think AFPC about it, right? He remembers even before he went to work there, he thought all the people that AFPC did was just tell people no, right? And he was pretty open about that, right? So just in the theme of being real. What you find out is that every single thing they can to facilitate, and really what they're working to change it to is to be the Air Force's personnel center, right? And there has been absolutely through this time, through the pandemic, I think they've done a phenomenal job of pushing information, changing policy programs to support our airmen, to support our teammates. And I just wanted to be able to say, thank you to the entire team at AFPC. And General Craig, he's a pretty tall individual. Yeah, he's
really tall.
He's taller more than anything. Is every time he take off that mask, that smile, because he was just so impressed with our team.
Yeah, I think for those that haven't been a part of a leadership visit like that, that's a two-way street. So they are absolutely coming in here with something in mind. They want to achieve something. They want to learn something. They want to take something away. But from the Wings perspective, we have the same hope. We have the same intent, is that when they come in, we have things we want to share with them. We have messages we want them to take away with. And it was a great visit. It's a two-way dialogue, and we absolutely, I think, got what we needed to get out of that visit. And so really grateful for them coming through here. And we were able to share some challenges that we have. And so in the vein of keeping it real, this wing does have some really tough problems that we're trying to tackle right now. Mine is charge of quarters for PQI, for personnel under investigations, isolation, and quarantine. That's a tough problem, and it affects our entire wing because it takes people away from their core duties through all 4 groups, and it pulls, because we've had numbers spike in terms of positive COVID rates of late, has been significantly increased, and so it's taken more and more personnel away. Now, I also want to say that we've got some real solutions, I think, that we're working on to let everybody know it is a team effort to try and solve that. Air Base Wing, the 59th Medical Wing, and now we've got serious involvement from 2nd Air Force and Air Education Training Command. I can tell you the leadership teams at every level are engaged and understand how painful and how tough a mission that is, and we're all getting after it. Now, what does that mean? When will we have some tangible, real results? And so what I would say is that analysis, that COA development, courses of action development, that's all happening right now. And thanks again to our mission partners. As soon as we can share what that plan is going forward, we'll do that. But I can tell you, we're not looking at this real, tangible changes on an enduring basis. So whether COVID lasts for another month or whether COVID lasts for another 10 years, we'll have a plan in place that takes some of the burden off of our airmen. That burden gets placed on the airmen. We know that workload increases. We know that stress increases. We know the anxiety increases. We know it's detrimental to our core mission function, which is creating the future leaders of tomorrow, Chief.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I think that's one of those wicked problems, right? Yeah. Because it's unpredictable in many ways. There's a lot of layers that go into it. But I just want to be able to thank. There's not a squadron or a group that hasn't contributed to keeping those men and women. It's been a huge success. But we just want to know, because they're on somewhat of an alert status, right? They have certain things they're planning for. They have enough work that's on the plate, and then they have to pivot for that kind of dynamic mission. But we want everybody to know is that, like you said, hey, that's just the way it is. We know we've got to get a little bit better planning factors to figure out how do we decrease the resource demand while still keeping everybody safe. So, just want everybody to know that's not necessarily something that we're just looking at short-sighted, but looking at the long-term solutions to make.
And I think it was Freeform Friday, episode 1 or episode 2, where we made the announcement that the 319 Training Squadron was taking ownership of that mission and was folding that under their portfolio. And so I have not regretted that decision in 1 second. The 319, I tell you, it is tiring and it is consuming mission. And you can see that is where a large level of effort is going right now. So I just wanted to say personally, thank you to the 319 Training Squadron from myself and Chief Blazier. We see you. We know how hard you're working. We know what a tough problem that is, and to be saddled with that and being the integrator across our entire wing to huge responsibility and a huge heavy lift. So thank you so much for doing that for us. We really appreciate it very much. We had some good news this week, Chief. Freeform Friday, right? one of the originators, the conceptualizers, one of the original, Cashel Trudell, came out this week on the wing. She was named the Air Education and Training Command Wing the Air Education and Training Command MAGCOM Public Affairs Officer of 2020.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Right.
But
so congratulations, Captain Trudell.
yeah, but if you saw her in action for the past year, I mean, I'm just really glad they got it right, because I can't tell you of another just officer leader that I've seen. I mean, she did everything from recording across the parade field, going in every single unit, military working dogs, tech training, international missions. She was everywhere, and I think she has like a couple twin sisters, because she was just. I didn't understand how it was like. Well, she was always just dynamic and get things done, from social media presence to carrying the message about what our airmen and our missions are doing. But man, congratulations! You know you're a Warhawk for life. And
she had her little arm on her for her camera, the little holder, and she had her phone, and she was everywhere like that, like live streaming, like posting on Facebook, posting on YouTube, nonstop. So she was passionate about that mission. You could tell she was very, very deserving.
She just wanted to tell her airman story.
So congratulations, Cashel, from both of us. So we got a big week coming up next week, Chief. Senior Leaders Conference coming up next Wednesday. We are going to be unveiling the addendum. Walkway was an aspirational document developed under Colonel Gennaros, my predecessor, with Chief Blaze and the previous command team. That was a great document. Matter of fact, it inspired me, and that's why I say it's an aspirational document. What's
Thank
that?
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you inspire me, Chief. You inspire me, keeping it real. But I also looked at it and said, you know what? I think we can drill down on this a little bit more and use that as a pivot to actually operationalizing a very specific, getting down to actual specific, tangible objectives. And so next week we roll that out as part of the SLC. Are you excited about that?
Oh, big time, sir. Because I think, for anybody, I've read a lot of strategic documents, and they're really good to kind of set the majority of the time when you come to work, you're like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, what is it you actually want me to do to contribute to it? Like, I understand, like, okay, we want to modernize infrastructure. Okay, but what do you want me to do to make that happen? And I think that a lot of contributions and thinking through that, and we're excited to kind of roll that out so we can actually hold ourselves accountable. Are we making our workplaces better? Are we improving infrastructure? Are we modernizing the systems that our airmen come to work with and to use every day? Are we advancing years to come? And I think it does a great job of looking at that from a holistic perspective. And your 3 priorities, sir. So we've messaged that. There's been but if you don't know, sir, I think they are spot on for everybody to look at it and kind of self-evaluate. Organization and partnerships. If you didn't know, PMP, that is what we'll be focused on under your priorities, sir, for the entire wing. And I love it.
Yeah. When I came in 3.5 months ago, Chief, I said first and foremost we got to take care of ourselves. What we do, we set the foundation here, but the foundation underneath that foundation is our cadre, it's our instructors, it's our schoolhouses, it's our international language schools. It's all that. That is the foundation. And if we don't take care of that foundation, it's insignificant. So that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to focus on our own people first and foremost. Modernization. General Brown said it. Accelerate, change, or lose. Right? We are not in a static world. We are in a dynamic world. We are going to accelerate that. We're going to do it in a specific, deliberate, tangible way. And then finally, partnerships. Man, you can't be a part of Joint Base San Antonio. You can't work in the industry that we work in on a lot of partnerships. And whether that's partnerships with our mission partners in the 502nd, the 59th, whether that's academia outside our gates, whether that's industry and developing new ways and new lines of thinking, all of those are partnerships that we have to mature, we have to grow, we have to evolve. So the bottom line is that's it. It's our people, it's our modernization platforms, and it's our partnerships. That's what's going to be our focus over the next 2 years under my stead here, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to roll out those that allow our airmen to really get after that because, Chief, we both have said this. Our airmen are selectively manned. They are special people. They want to get after it. They got tons and tons of thrust. They're like, just give me a vector. Just give me a vector.
You got to feed them. You got to feed them, right? We know that, I mean, I've said this over and again, I've never worked with such a talented group of individuals, but you got to feed them. You got to give them objectives. And that's where I think it actually drives fulfillment too at the same time. If I could highlight one thing, sir, I know that's important to you. We've been talking about it a lot. And that's when somebody comes into Air Education and Training Command, when they come to our wing, when maybe they do a special duty or maybe they're a technical instructor, that they're falling behind, or that they become then out of touch with what's going on in the operational community. So there's going to be an intentional push where we're going to stand up wing functional leads. So more to come on that. Right now we're kind of evaluating the demographic and put you in touch with your MAGCOM functional managers, and then also career field managers, so you get ready and consistent updates. And that might also drive career field involvement to come here to the wing. But the point is you're going to keep up to date with Thompson. He's looking at this as maybe there's a top-off tour where you kind of get a familiarization before you go back out to the operational units. But we know that's a big anxiety. We know that's one thing where people kind of have doubts of, hey, am I going to be coming here? We want you to know we're not running from that. So we're just trying to be real with you as well. We hear you. We know that's a concern, and we're going to be getting after it.
Yeah, and I think we got the right team together to solve those problems and start solving those problems. Chief, Mr. Joe Sarita, our executive director up here, has taken that on. Chief and I had the opportunity earlier this week to address them. It was great, and I think we had a lot of head nods. I think we're all in alignment on what needs to be done. So now we just need to get after it and figure that out. But my own personal experiences, haven't sat on promotion boards, but there has to be some deliberate thought behind getting them away from the schoolhouse and back into their core functional AFSCs, and how we do that. And it could be through some training. It could be through a deployment, interaction just with their functionals here in the local area. But we need to be thoughtful. We need to be mindful of it, and we know it causes anxiety because it's hard. And as a wing, we don't want to just be like, hey, good luck,
Right.
Take care,
Right.
Good luck, engineer, intel, whatever it is. You should have a soft landing back into those areas. Time has pretty much shown us that you'll compete very well no matter what, but it shouldn't be that hard.
Yes, sir. Our men and women, our permanent party, they pour. We want to pour into you. I mean, that's the main point too. And we owe it to you to also be deliberate, so that you can have the right training at the right time to the right person. And that's going to take some real thought. But appreciate everybody who's started to join into that effort. We think there's just a lot of awesome opportunities there, because especially the cross-pollination of talent, the diversity of skills we have, really great chance to kind of learn and not necessarily wait for 3 or 4 assignments.
So, sneak preview to the operationalization of the Warhawk Way. That is one objective out of many. So that's one thing we're going to value. That's one thing we sincerely value. The reason we brought it up today is because it's definitive. We know what we want to get after there. So
yeah, and the great thing is now that we're writing it down, and we've actually have measured timelines to do it, you all get to hold us accountable. So we're coming here online. This is live and everything, but that's the big nature of this. Is if you don't see these things in the next coming months, then you can call it
for this week. I have.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me go. So the movie that I picked for keeping it real is The Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. Like keeping with my theme of 80s movies. I got Miss Warwick back there grinning because she's movie The Breakfast Club. It's about a group of misfits that have all gotten in trouble throughout the week. They're high school students. They go in. They're sitting in detention on a Saturday. They have to be there all day Saturday. He's not nice, and he's not really all that real personally, or maybe he is, and that's just who it is. But anyway, so over the time you get to learn about these characters, and you figure out they're trying to be somebody they're not, and they see right through each other throughout the entire movie. And by the time they're all different people, and you can see how they've changed each other just in that short period of time. So that's my theme for keeping it real. Not to put you on the spot. Anything?
A family favorite would be Hot Rod. So
Yeah.
that is he stays real the entire time through thick and thin.
For better or worse.
And he ends up saving his stepdad in the process. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Being real doesn't mean we can't change and improve ourselves and evolve as human beings, right?
That's right.
That's
but,
right.
He's gonna make the jump.
So finally, in keeping it real, I wanted to tell you we're looking at the Freeform this week. Our vice wing commander, who said it very well. I think somewhat this is a cathartic experience for the two of us. And that maybe we get into it so much that we lose sight of what we're actually trying to deliver, which is information that's helpful and useful. So we are looking at that, and there may be some different, some small changes. I think we're going to always continue to do Freeform Friday as long as we're here, but it may shift a little bit in terms of format. Bottom line, if you have feedback or on YouTube, or you just want to verbalize it to us as we come around, that would be great. We'd love to hear from you. We're very, very welcoming, and we need your feedback. And we're getting out, so we've talked Freeform Friday, now it's time for Fun Friday. We're getting out, we're coming over to DLI and IAFA here in a few with some recognition, so we're looking forward to getting out and doing that today, Chief.
Awesome.
All right.
Any questions out there, Brittany, on the stream?
No, they all just think you look fantastic in y'all's outfits,
All right,
so
well,
definitely killing it.
Let me get back into
Oh, here we go.
A little background music.
There we go. or
Wait
yeah,
for
show
it.
personality too.
Oh,
There we go. All right, there we
Thanks.
go.
All right, Warhawks. Have a great Friday. Enjoy Halloween over at the PRC and our big bash. We'll look forward to seeing you next week after a safe and happy weekend.
We love you, team. Stay
All
safe.
right, we're out.